Who's the best player in the country?
To the media or me?
As you see it.
I feel like I'm the best player in the country.
Okay. Who's the second best?
Who? Lady, nobody knows who you are. Nobody would be watching the WNBA additionally for you. This is all about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is bringing the money to the game, the planes to the game, the TV viewership. The WNBA is on fire because of Caitlin Clark.
Angel Reese just discovered that her WNBA preseason debut drew TV ratings so low, even tumbleweeds looked away in boredom, while Caitlin Clark was out there smashing viewership records like she was in the layup Super Bowl. How did Reese go from the spotlight of Bayou Barbie to Bayou Who faster than a halftime ad break? Was it a case of dead remotes, or did viewers just vanish like free throws in a pressure game? Either way, this preseason dud might go down as the most hilarious case of collective silence in sports history. Nobody tuned in, but somehow we're all
Wait a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pete. I thought Angel Reese was responsible for elevating the WNBA dunk. I thought Angel Reese was responsible for taking the dump and turning it into an unmonetizable term. Now, to her credit, it is a nicely polished term. It almost looks appealing. Almost. Of course, it's still not appealing enough to generate profit, but I guess the WNBA is taking baby steps. I mean, what's one more year of multi-million-dollar lawsuits?
Angel Reese entered her WNBA preseason debut with the swagger of someone ready to headline a Beyoncé world tour, only to realize she was actually center stage in an empty parking lot, with one bewildered squirrel as her entire audience. The self-anointed queen of college hoops made her grand entrance into the pros, only for the TV ratings to crash harder than a failed TikTok dance at a retirement.
So Wendy's 4-for-4 meal, I could get chicken nuggets, a junior bacon cheeseburger, value fries, and a drink, Sprite preferably if they don't have root beer. And I can get all that for more than what it would cost to get to a Chicago Sky or Minnesota Lynx. This is crazy.
Let's set the scene. Angel Reese showed up shining with the confidence of a red carpet regular, expecting flashbulbs and fanfare, only to be met with the deafening silence of a TV ratings black hole. If ratings had a basement, hers brought a shovel and started tunneling to the Earth's core. It was so bad, her team's game pulled fewer viewers than a sock-folding tutorial on YouTube. We're talking ghost town levels of interest. Even the Nielsen guy probably shrugged and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna skip this one." And just like that, click, viewers turned.
I would not be talking about the Fever's attendance figures when it had been widely known Caitlin Clark was not going to play in that Fever game on Friday.
To be fair, Reese came into the WNBA like a storm warning. Big college legacy, bold persona, and enough trash talk to rival a Real Housewives reunion. But when the lights came on and the cameras rolled, the public responded with a unified yawn. This wasn't just low ratings, it was, wait, did this even broadcast? Levels of vanishing act. Ghost Town doesn't even begin.
Folks, it's or it's close to. If it's not over, it's close to it. I'm at that point where I think we are at a point of no return. I think we have hit a level where there are problems and they are starting to punch you right in the face.
Meanwhile, a few time zones away, Caitlin Clark was putting on a show. The Indiana Fever could have tipped off on the moon, and the ratings still would have been through the stratosphere. Clark was busy breaking viewership records like it was just another drill, while Angel Reese was left refreshing her phone, wondering why even her most loyal auntie didn't bother to watch.
We say hands down, Caitlin Clark is the best player to come into the WNBA. Hands down, not based on white privilege. I think based on her full athletic talent and the position that she's playing in the WNBA.
The difference? Caitlin Clark played like she had something to prove. Angel Reese played like she expected a crown just for clocking in. Reality check. Prime time doesn't hand out participation trophies. Turns out, when fans tune into women's basketball, they're looking for, shocker, actual basketball. Maybe a few made shots. Just a thought. Reese seemed more focused on striking poses for the camera than putting points on the board. And let's be clear, fans love personality in sports. But the unspoken rule? You've got to back it up on the court. Angel came in with the energy of someone who thought charm could substitute for a solid shooting percentage. Hate to say it, but even influencers need a plan B when the Wi-Fi cuts out. The funniest part? When the ratings tanked, Reese reportedly lost it, which of course she did. When your brand thrives on volume, silence hits like a slap. She didn't just expect viewers, she expected a full-blown celebration, standing ovations, fireworks, maybe even a surprise Jay-Z hologram intro. Instead, she got a nationally broadcast cricket symphony.
Some comments about Angel Reese.
Yeah.
You called her garbage compared to Caitlin Clark.
Yes. Yes. I love black people. Mwah, 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 mwah. But I think sometimes we do play the race card too much. This ain't racial. This is about sports. This is about athletic ability. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at Caitlin Clark's game, who's very reminiscent of a Steph Curry based on her range and shooting the three, plus everything else she does. And then you look at Angel Reese. Stop it. She just seems as uncoordinated as a baby giraffe. If you throw up 85 attempts, you're eventually going to get one or two. But the fact that you have to throw the ball up 85 times is fucking ridiculous.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark just laced up, hit the court, and let her game do all the talking. No theatrics, no ego trips, no social media meltdowns, just buckets and broken viewership records. She played like someone who gets it. Fans show up for the game, not for a runway walk starring missed free throws. And to be clear, Angel Reese isn't without talent. She's got game. But not the kind that makes people skip dinner to watch her stand around and pout. It's the classic case of all hype, no follow-through. Like hyping a surprise Beyoncé. Drop and delivering a kazoo solo recorded in your cousin's bathroom. The WNBA likely thought adding Angel would send ratings through the roof. Instead, they got a textbook lesson in over-promising and under-delivering. It was like dropping millions on a blockbuster only to realize the star forgot her lines and the crowd bailed before the movie even started. That's what Angel Reese's preseason debut looked like. Big promo, zero payoff.
Chomping at the bit, waiting to watch Caitlin Clark play. It seems like the rest of the country was waiting in suspense along with her. It seems as if the rest of the country was on the edge of their seats, waiting for Fever basketball, and how do I know? Numbers don't.
And it wasn't just the ratings. Something felt off in Angel Reese's usual playground, social media. The hype was flatter than a day-old diet soda. No trending hashtags, no viral clips, just an eerie silence that quietly whispered, "Did we bet on the wrong star?" Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's highlights were bouncing around the internet like cat videos. Non-stop shares, non-stop buzz. SportsCenter was eating it up, ESPN couldn't get enough, and even people who couldn't tell a layup from a touchdown were watching and saying, "I don't know who she is, but she's got it." It's not every day someone jumps from sports standout to full-blown pop culture phenomenon. But Caitlin? She's already arrived. Reese, on the other hand, still feels like she's stuck at the front gate, arguing with event security. Let's talk priorities. Clark's in the gym, fine-tuning her game, racking up buckets like she's clocking in for a double shift. And when the WNBA showed Reese those brutal viewership numbers, word is she took it like someone who just found out her birthday was canceled. Mood swings, side eyes, maybe even a cryptic, passive-aggressive tweet about real
was the star of stars, the icon of icons. That's what the mainstream media keeps telling me. Headline at Forbes from last month. how Angel Reese and Asia Wilson are leading the WNBA's growth.
And just like that, the Bayou Barbie hype train started to feel more like a coin-operated kiddie ride outside a rundown strip mall. Angel Reese was meant to be the bold, flashy face of a new WNBA era, dynamic, unfiltered, unforgettable. Instead, she's turning into the cautionary tale of what happens when hype takes more shots than hustle. The irony? Reese could be a solid pro, but being decent isn't enough when you're constantly marketing yourself like a Grammy frontrunner. You can't call yourself the main event and then fumble the moment the spotlight hits while fans quietly slip out the back. The sad truth is, fans did show up, at least at first. They were ready to watch. They were curious. But you only get so many chances before curiosity turns to indifference. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark keeps climbing, not because she talks the loudest, but because she delivers. Consistently. People don't want to be told someone's great. They want to see it in real time. What makes it worse is the WNBA's desperate push to make Reese the centerpiece, as if relevance can be forced. It's like seating a last-minute +1 at the head table of a wedding and wondering why no one's raising a glass. If the audience isn't buying it, no amount of PR spin is going to turn clunky ratings into Nielsen Gold. Because in sports, just like in showbiz, you can't fake relevance. The scoreboard and the viewers always tell the truth.
You've got a basketball player, you got a celebrity that, or somebody that thinks she's a celebrity, that happens to be a basketball player. All right, but she's not celebrity enough to actually pack in the stands. And guys, there is some ugly numbers here.
And of course, Reese's fans will chalk it all up to jealousy, bias, or some grand anti-Angel conspiracy. Right, because clearly the entire country just randomly decided to skip her game for no reason at all. Definitely not because she played like she was saving her energy for a TikTok routine. Definitely not because the game had the tension of a lukewarm bath. Nope. It must be a coordinated attack. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here turning basketball into performance art. She earns every headline, every clip, every cheer. It's the same pattern we've seen in sports forever. The loudest voices always think they deserve the most love. But the true greats? They don't have to shout. Their game speaks for them. Caitlin Clark barely whispered, and the whole country leaned in. Angel Reese? She shouted through a megaphone and still got nothing but static. And then there's the cherry on top, when Reese allegedly stormed out of a press event after being asked about the ratings. Peak diva move. If you're cashing a pro paycheck, you've got to show up like a pro, not just on the court, but at the mic, too. Because TV ratings aren't some personal attack. They're public performance reviews with a broadcast license. And right now, that review isn't glowing.
Caitlin Clark herself coming through in 19 minutes of play, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Caitlin Clark doing Caitlin Clark.
So there's no excuse. Nobody watched that game between the Sky at LSU for Angel Reese's homecoming. Nobody watched.
To be fair, Reese's game could absolutely improve if she wants fans to tune in for Game 2. But if her plan is to just turn up the volume instead of stepping up her play, we're in for another snooze fest. And that squirrel from earlier probably won't be back for round 2. So here we are. Angel Reese, Preseason 0, Caitlin Clark, Preseason Hero 1. One got a standing ovation, the other got a participation ribbon and a sad trombone sound. You can't fake what fans want to see. And apparently, they'd rather watch Clark drain threes than watch Reese post selfies. It's not personal. It's just basketball. Sure, maybe Reese will bounce back. Maybe she'll drop 30 points and make everyone pay attention, but she'd better hurry because Caitlin Clark is speeding ahead and there's only so much airtime to go around. In sports, the spotlight isn't permanent. You've got to earn it every single...
The mainstream media seems to be struggling with the difference between a star and a mainstream draw.
To sum it all up, Angel Reese went off the rails because nobody bothered to watch her play, while Caitlin Clark casually rewrote the record books. One's out here chasing headlines, the other's out here chasing greatness, and as far as the fans are concerned, the choice is crystal clear. Now, if you'll excuse us, we're off to rewatch that Indiana Fever game, the one people actually wanted to see. Oh, and Angel, next time maybe bring more game than glam. The scoreboard doesn't care about hashtags, and neither do the fans. And, just when you thought things couldn't get more awkward for Reese, here's the final gut punch. Even the halftime show during Caitlin Clark's game generated more buzz than Reese's entire debut. Let that sink in. Somewhere, a minor league mascot in a chicken suit juggling basketballs probably pulled in more social media engagement than Angel Reese in full uniform. If that doesn't sting, nothing will. But let's be real, it was inevitable. You can't build a career on attitude alone. Eventually, the Flash has to meet the fundamentals. Reese may have rebuilt a brand, but without the on-court fireworks to back it up, it's just a shiny box with nothing inside. The hype balloon popped on live TV, and the only sound was America collectively switching the channel to literally anything else.
Who? Who in the hell is Asia Wilson? Uncle KC, she is the best player in the league. She's the most valuable dump diver. Asia Wilson is a huge star. Oh.
Look, no one's hoping for failure here. But it's hard not to laugh when someone walks into a league acting like a superstar, only to get humbled by a scoreboard and a set of cold, hard numbers. Angel Reese got a front row seat to reality, and, let's just say, it wasn't pretty. She showed up expecting to dominate the headlines, but instead, she got outshined, outplayed, and outwatched by a player who let her game do the talking. Now, the big question is, will Angel adjust, step up, and earn her spotlight, or keep blaming the lighting for why no one's paying attention? Because Caitlin Clark isn't slowing down. The crown isn't given. It's earned. And so far, Caitlin's wearing it while Angel's still trying to find the stage. And let's not forget the best part. While Angel Reese's debut quietly faded into the background like elevator music no one asked for, Caitlin Clark's preseason game looked like a championship night. We're talking confetti, sold-out crowds, standing ovations, ESPN notifications lighting up phones like a presidential alert. It wasn't just a game, it was an event. Meanwhile, Reese's tip-off might as well have been held in someone's backyard during a barbecue. Heck, even the squirrels probably had better attendance.
Entered the league. The prevailing conversation around the WNBA has been drawing power. There's one thing that Angel Reese is not. Angel Reese is not a draw. If you haven't believed me before, this weekend further...
Angel Reese says WNBA players could go on strike over salaries and benefits. All right, so Angel Reese says this. Rob, if you want to play this stuff. You know what I love watching? I love watching the highlights of missing shots. She's got to be the worst shooter you've met in your life.
With all the pre-draft drama, endorsement deals, and endless reels of attitude, you'd expect Reese to come out firing on all cylinders. But instead, she showed up with a water pistol at a fireworks show. In a league that's fighting tooth and nail for viewership, being forgettable just isn't an option. Especially when someone else is busy rewriting the playbook and setting ratings records to match. The message couldn't be clearer, Angel. This league doesn't run on clout, it runs on performance. And right now, Caitlin Clark's out here racking up fans, while Reese is busy stacking excuses. The cameras are rolling, the lights are shining, but if nobody's watching, maybe it's time to rethink the approach.